Hey everybody, this is Brent in Central Arkansas. Today's video is something I call replacement planting. And what that means is it's sort of consecutive planting. I am going to replant some squash. I've got some seedlings here. I am going to plant some new watermelon seed. It's the same project, small seeded watermelon, but it's a different lot of seed. So I'm going to replant that one because the ones that I originally planted are showing the signs of, they're letting me know what they're going to do in size and all that sort of thing. And so now I can carry on to a different thing with the watermelon. Actually, this one's a little bigger watermelon and it had somewhat smaller seed, and I'm hoping it crossed with some really tiny seed. So anyway, that's the thing with the watermelon here. I've also got some Madisons Cross. Now Madisons Cross in the raised bed there is still doing okay. I've got another seed squash that I've taken off of one plant and removed it. I've got another seed squash on there, and I've got two more plants that are producing yellow squash for me. And so the thing is, I saw signs of what I think is a squash mosaic virus. And so those plants really need to come out. I'm not going to replant Madisons Cross in that same bed anymore because the potential of the orange, I call it the orange effect, it makes Madisons Cross fruit orange and it doesn't size up as nicely. It's just kind of a weird thing. I can't find anything online about it. Anyway, to prevent it, what I'm going to do is not plant in that same bed where it is now. I'm going to plant, if you can see here, probably a little bit on this side here, these are the green beans. And I did the second, third, and fourth harvest video. Hopefully you've seen that. Hopefully it's before this one. And what I'm going to do now is these plants are absolutely exhausted, so I'm going to remove four actually, but these two, I'm going to put Madisons Cross in these two beds, and I'm going to continue with Madisons Cross because we just love eating it. Now I've already met my seed needs for Madisons Cross. I'm also crossing Madisons Cross with another squash, and those seed squash are still doing great. I'm waiting for them to mature before I can take the seed. So this is about replacement planting. I'm also going to plant another round of zucchini in one of the beds. It's the green beans, just to make sure that whatever the mosaic virus is on the Madisons Cross didn't get transferred to the zucchini. I don't see it, but the disease, I don't see symptoms of it yet, but the disease is transmitted by cucumber beetles primarily, and I do see some cucumber beetles a little bit. I have sprayed since, and I hardly see any right now. Anyway, I'm going to replant some zucchini. There'll probably be some other little things that are going on that I'll talk about in the video. So that's enough of the intro. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this video. So this bed here was Madisons Cross. It was the only bed that had Madisons Cross in it, and it had 5 originally. There's 3 left here, and you've probably seen it in a few videos now. This one on the end here is a seed squash, and you can tell by looking at it, it's just getting really tired, and that's because the seed squash is ultra mature. But I'm just letting it carry on for as long as it possibly can before I take it. And so these two over here are doing okay. This one is not showing symptoms that I see yet of what I'm about to show you. And so I'm getting continuing fruit here. You can see here, and as long as it's producing fruit and it looks okay, here's another one over here that looks like both of those were pollinated today. But as long as those two are looking great, then I'm going to let that one continue to live, because it's obviously fruit that we can eat. Now looking at this by comparison, look at this. This squash is harder. It's orangish color, and I've seen this in the past before, and I think that's related to the squash mosaic virus. Now that is transmitted by seed to seedling. So the actual seed inside the seed or on the coat of the seed, both can transmit the virus in a new plant. And so what I'm doing now also is, hopefully I'll have results here before too long. I'm doing a hot water treatment because I don't want to continue this. Now I saw this in the past on some squash seed, and this squash right here may have had it within the seed itself. So I'm attempting to sanitize through the hot water treatment the cucurbits, all cucurbits. I'll do a video on that if you haven't seen it already. And so I think, and I'm hoping, that'll end the issue I have. Just like right now, I'm growing a ton of tomatoes everywhere out the lazy garden. And last year I had a really bad breakout of bacterial canker. I had it analyzed to find out what it was through the County Extension Service, University of Arkansas, and they determined it was bacterial canker. This one's falling off because I was fiddling with it and it's expired. But anyway, didn't get fertilized. So the tomatoes this year are, since I hot water treated them, they're not displaying any symptoms of bacterial canker. And I knew that would work. The year before, not just last year, but the year before that, I was having some symptoms. So I'm quite certain I transmitted the disease through the seed because I didn't hot water treat last year. I've done it many times in past years, but just for some reason I got lazy and I didn't do it last year, and it showed up like a beast. All right, first bed is done. It was that quick. Now I left the stem roots. I just cut them off at the surface here. I left the roots in because legumes like green beans here affix nitrogen in the soil. They do it after they're done growing, and because they utilize it while they're growing. And so once I cut these off, the roots will begin to degrade, and that will supply some nitrogen to the actual squash Madisons Cross. So I'm going to finish up this bed here, and then we're going to plant some Madisons Cross in here. I'll pick that debris up and we'll put it in the compost pile. Now this hasn't been infected with anything. I've not seen any issue at all in the green beans, so it won't be an issue at all with composting it. So you may be wondering why I'm not replanting beans, and that's because it's very simple. It's just the wife and I mainly, and because I'm a breeder, I want to use the space as wisely as possible. And we have harvested 25 pounds of green beans. I did a video on that, the second harvest. 25 pounds of green beans. That's a lot of green beans for us. And so we have those in the freezer. So I don't need to plant any more beans. However, later in the season, if I see that 25 pounds wasn't enough, then I'll make that correction next year and replant at least 1 or 2 more beds of beans. So it's just a matter of guessing at this point and utilizing the space more wisely for my needs. I'm going to plant the watermelon back here, but first I have to remove the undesirable squash from the F2 grow of Feroce Delicate. There are 2 examples on here that I'm wanting to keep. I believe this is one of them. I have a marker here, and I know the other one off the top of my head real easily down there. So those 2 are going to stay and the rest are coming out. We're going to pull these out by the roots. And I see some squash bugs. Probably should spray these. But instead I'm just going to rub the squash bugs. The majority of them are on the plant. So by me doing this, any squash bugs are in there, not gonna make it. Plus there's nothing else to feed on in there. And I'm not planting during the heat of the day. I'm gonna plant this evening. I'm gonna plant it in the wet spot here. And the water comes on a couple times a day. It'll drip down from right here, right where it needs to be. Make sure it gets watered in. Do one more. Concept's the same every time. Make a little hole, real easy. Take the transplant, plant it a little deeper than it was in the pot. And that's it. Automatic watering. I turned it on for 10 minutes to water these new transplants. I'm showing you, and I've already checked them, obviously, before I started filming. They're all getting ample water. It's getting warm in the 90s, so I've had to increase the watering schedule, because these rice holes makes a mix that drains very, very well, too well actually. This is a little bit of a lengthy video probably by now, but I do this whenever I feel it needs it, whenever I want to replace something, whenever I'm done with one project and want to start another project. I try to get even the same project in 2 or 3 times a year. Anyway, that's it for this particular video. And make sure you can see me out of the sun and catch my breath here a little bit. But anyway, if you like the video, please share it. Also, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate the comments especially. I enjoy talking to you folks. I even learn from you. So please do that for me and share the video so it'll grow my channel. I appreciate you tuning in. Until the next video, we'll see ya.